Alrighty, so we are going to be discussing our sheep breeds. So some of these are going to look similar to goats, possibly, but they are different. They are sheep, they are not goats. So you can find our information in our identification notes, study resources, and we have sheep. There's a really interesting article about keeping sheep for shearing and using for their wool. And also a great article on how to actually perform a body score for a sheep. So if you're looking at the meat market, right, and you want to make sure you have a high yield carcass, you're going to look at the information that is here. So we're going to dive into our Quizlet set and start learning about our sheep. The first sheep we're going to look at is called a Columbia. So the first sheep is a Columbia, and their use is for wool as well as some meat. So they have a medium wool, so their diameter is 23 to 29 microns, and then we also will use them for meat. These are a crossbreed between the Lincoln and the Ramboulay. So they've got pink noses and pink hooves. That's going to be one of their distinguishing factors. So they are a cross. So you can see that light pink nose right there. We can't see it here, but they will have pink hoof as well. So here is our Columbia. Next, we have a Dorset. The Dorset is going to be used for meat. Now, interesting thing about them is that they can breed any time of the year. Their wool is 26 to 32 microns. So we have the Dorset, and here's your Dorset. So these being out in the pasture, they still have their horns, versus this one may be handling more. And that male being used for breeding, they may have trimmed those horns to limit that aggression. So here is your Dorset. Next, we have a Hampshire. Remember the Hampshire pig? And it was black and white. Same thing with our Hampshire sheep. So we're going to use them for meat. Black face and legs with some wool growth. So their wool diameter is 25 to 33 microns. So we may shear them, but the primary use is going to be for meat. So here we have the black face and the black legs. So this is your Hampshire. Next, we have a Dorper. So a Dorper is used for its hide as well as its meat, and it can have an all black head or an all white head. So it's going to have one or the other. So we see that head that's black is all the way the head into the neck area as well. And then you have the all white head right there. So that is your Dorper. Next we have is our Merino. So the Merino is used for fine wool. The rams are horned and the ewes are actually hornless. So the ram is the male, the ewe is the female. And so here we have, now these are naturally where the females are hornless. So here's the Merino. And we can see that this has not been sheared yet, but they are going to be used for their wool. So we're going to let them get nice and shaggy. You can see here we're definitely going to need to wash that wool pretty well because there's some algae growth on there. Next, we have the Ramboulay. The Ramboulay is used for fine wool. They are the largest sheep for wool production. They've got a white face and very woolly legs. Wool diameter is 19 to 24 microns. So here we have the Ramboulay. We can see those very fuzzy legs right down there. And you have a little bit less fur around that facial area. And even the fur is not nearly as kinky matty as the one we saw before, but has a little bit more of a fluff to it. Next, we have our South Down. So our South Down is going to be used for meat. It is one of the oldest breeds involved in the production of the Suffolk, the Hampshire, and the Oxford breeds. So this is their ancestor. Wool diameter is 24 to 29 microns. They have extensive wool on the face and on the legs, so they're going to be a little fuzzy wuzzy. All right, so here we have it. They are adorable. So again, these are the South Downs. So think about down pillows and all the fluff. So here we have all of the fluff in the face, where the other sheep breeds we did not have that. Super adorable. Next is the Suffolk. The Suffolk is used for meat, bare head and legs, the black head and legs. They have a wool diameter of 26 to 33 microns. So here we have it. So this is a bit different than the Hampshire because we don't have that wool on the legs. So it's black and hairless, or not hairless, but very short hair. And then that head is also black, stopping right behind the ears, but it also has no wool growth. It's just fur at that point. So that's going to be a great way to tell the difference between the Hampshire and the Suffolk folk. And then there you have it.